What's going on, everyone? Like Sports back with another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the New York Giants and why I think everyone is sleeping on the Giants for this upcoming 2022 season. I think the Giants are a lot better than people think, and in this video, I'm going to be saying and explaining why I think that. But before I start the video, you guys please let me know down below in the comment section your thoughts on this topic. Leave a like on the video, hit that subscribe button if you are new. Let's get right into it. The Giants, they've got a new regime. They're starting a new regime, and along with it, they have a lot of new systems, both on the offensive and defensive side. They improved a lot in the draft. They improved in terms of in free agency on bits and pieces. On the offensive line, they improved. They added a starting center. They added a starting right guard, and some guys that will actually be able to play in the NFL and start for the Giants on that offensive line. So it starts with that. They get Evan Neal, their bookend right tackle. So they have 4 key pieces to that offensive line this season. Now, I'm not saying they're long-term pieces. Mark Lewinsky could be a long-term piece at the right guard. John Feliciano is just a kind of a stopgap center until the Giants can find their long-term center, but he is a good, solid option compared to what the Giants have had in the past. Brian Dable and Mike Kafka, they bring a very aggressive offense, a lot more aggressive than Joe Judge's conservative offense. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out and how Daniel Jones can improve from that. I'm really excited to see that. I think the Giants mainly, the part that people are missing is that Saquon Barkley is going to get back to Saquon Barkley. He's a full year off that injury, and he is ready to have a big season. He knows that his pay and his money, this is the year that he has to perform. This is when he's getting his paycheck. So that salary's waiting for him, and he knows that. So he's going to turn on the Jets this year. I really do believe that, and I think he's going to turn into the Saquon Barkley that he was at the beginning of his career, because that is dynamic, and it's, in my opinion, the best running back in all of football. Daniel Jones, that's going to help him out a lot, having Saquon Barkley and having an offense and 2 new school offensive minds that really are going to be aggressive and really help in the offense, and they're really going to help him out. They have pieces from Mahomes and Allen's playbook, which are 2 of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league, and I think that's really going to help Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones knows that it's a make-or-break year for him, and he's going to have to put himself in the best spot possible to try and win that franchise quarterback job, and he knows that. He's going to have to lay it loose. He's going to have to make some tough decisions. He's going to have to really just, kind of just throw it up there. That's all he can do right now. So at this point in his career, that's what he's going to do, and it's going to be interesting to see what he could do. He's added a receiver in Wan'Dale Robinson. He's getting Richie James. He's a good guy in the slot. He can be a real speedster. The Giants have a lot of speedy receivers, and don't forget they still have Kenny Golladay, and now we have an offense and a couple of offensive minds that are going to know how to utilize Kenny Golladay. So it's going to be really interesting to see the year that Golladay has with Jones. That chemistry, we saw it. We saw bits and pieces of it, tiny bits and pieces of it. But that chemistry, when they do connect, is something pretty special, and I'm really excited to hopefully see that this season. So that's going to be interesting. Kadarius Toney's going to be healthy. And like I said, the offensive line just got better as a whole, and that's going to help out Jones. I think that was the biggest thing with Daniel Jones, him not having an offensive line. So I think that slowly is going to change here in New York, and I think and I'm hopeful that Daniel Jones is going to really take a step up and improve with a better offensive line, with healthy and better weapons, and with a couple of offensive-minded guys, an offensive coordinator and head coach that really know how to use him and how to use that new style and creative offense. I think Jones is really going to thrive with this new system and this new regime. Now shifting over to the defense, Dominic Martindale. He is the new guy here in town in terms of the defense. and the system that he's going to run in. It's a really aggressive system, and I think that kind of fits and matches what the Giants have in terms of the roster. You take a look at what we've added in Kayvon Thibodeau. That's a really good edge rusher alongside Azeez Ojulari opposite to him. So that's two really good edge rushers, and in between them is Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams, guys that get to the quarterback. And we know how creative Don Wink Martindale gets and how aggressive he is, and he's just a guy that just sends the blitz, chase the quarterback, and we have the right players and the right system, scheme, and the right roster to be able to do that and do it effectively. Now, a big thing that, a side effect to this is, of course, the secondary, and it did get worse. But the Giants spent a third-round pick on Cordell Flott. We're hoping that Adoree Jackson can, be as good as he was, maybe even a bit better than he was last year, because he was good last season. He was very good, when it really meant the most. Adoree Jackson came up with some good plays, so you're not really questioning Adoree Jackson, but what's after him: Aaron Robinson, Young, Darnay Holmes. I have confidence in him, but the secondary is really going to have to hold the fort and really hold up back there for this Giants defense to be effective, and I think they will. I really do think they will. But I think it's going to be really interesting to see how Don Wink Martindale uses this system. Of course, we obviously know we have Xavier McKinney, and Martindale's going to send blitz from everywhere. The linebackers are going to blitz. The secondary is going to come in with blitz. It's going to be a very interesting, team system and way that they play defense here. So I'm really excited to see that. But the thing that most Giants fans are missing is last year there was all this hype going into the year, and that we have a playoff roster. My question is, what did we lose from that roster? Just looking at the roster itself, what did we lose? Blake Martinez, very important piece, but he didn't play last year, all right? And James Bradbury. Those are the two pieces that the Giants lost. Evan Ingram doesn't really mean much, doesn't really matter. So those are the two key difference makers. But you look at what you added: Kayvon Thibodeau, who's a guy who's going to get to the quarterback, a really strong player, and some of these young guys, they're getting an extra year of experience. You take a look at Tate Crowder, Xavier McKinney, Julian Love. These guys are all getting more experience, and they're going to be much better. They're going to really grow and take that step up and be better. So I think, if you're asking me, I think the Giants have a better team going into this year than we did last year. You take a look at the offensive line. They've added, last year we only had one solid piece. Now we have four, and we have guys who can actually sit in there and let Daniel Jones have some time in the pocket. That's going to be crucial. Daniel Jones has more weapons than he did last year, healthier. So I think that's going to be really key. And the Giants have a better roster than we did last year, when all that hype was around the Giants and making the playoffs. And not to mention, the system and the coaching staff is a lot better. I understand that we liked Joe Judge, but he, at the end of the day, turned out to be a bad head coach. He just wasn't mature enough, and he was too conservative for the job. He was too hard-headed and old school type, and that's not what you need right now to win. So I think Brian Daboll's good for the job. I think Mike Kafka's really good. I think Don Wink Martindale's really good. So we're getting good minds in here, and I think that it's going to really help this football team. I think the Giants are being slept on by the NFL. We're in a division that's very winnable. The Eagles are a solid team. They got better in the offseason, but I still think that the Giants can compete with the Eagles. I think the Cowboys, with the injuries that they've gotten so far here in training camp, this is, it's made it really tough for them. The Giants were just 5 days away from the first game. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to have a pregame, preview and prediction video like I did last year for every game. I'm super excited about that. And I do think that the Giants are being slept on by the NFL, and we're going to be better, and we're going to make some teams surprised this upcoming season. You guys let me know down in the comment section your thoughts on the New York Giants and this upcoming 2022 season. You guys let me know all that good stuff down in the comment section. As always, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. See you guys on the next video. Let's go Giants.